everybody, Ace Shinigami here to bring you another video, kind of pertaining back from what I had streamed on Saturday. So more information, got a little better information, I guess you could say, on the whole Black Myth Wukong thing, and how IGN and all these other companies have been kind of trying to smear Game Science, a Chinese developer, for being seemingly sick. It all stems even from, I think, last year when they actually started this whole fiasco, but it's really picked up traction as of late because Game Science basically told us that they refused to pay $7 million for Sweet Baby Inc. and these consulting firms, companies, whatever, to add in DEI, ESG requirements, and also limiting the amount of freedom Game Science actually had on the game itself. So let's get into what has been rocking it. Okay, let's see. So this is where it all stemmed from. IGN, like I was talking about on Saturday, just couldn't zoom in, so I was like, fuck it. But they're basically saying how Black Myth Wukong developers' history of sexism is complicating its journey to the West. What an interesting title. And you see, as we scroll down here, this article contains a number of quotes from Game Science that contain graphic sexual content and remarks. And the other one, this was the main thing that they mistranslated so badly. Stuff like this: smaller bodies move leisurely, larger bodies are lethargic, an unmolted golden cicada in undynamic body of water. Like, it's just some of the translation doesn't really make much sense, and I don't really see where the whole sexual innuendos or remarks are even at. But they clearly have a stick up their ass and are very upset that this company did not take the bait and pay them $7 million to have their creative freedom basically limited. Good on Game Science for that. Again, here's another post I found. Black Myth Wukong devs refuse to work with Sweet Baby Inc. Again, another huge contributor to the negative stigma in gaming right now, with the whole inclusivity and pushing for things that just wouldn't make money and are just for like, oh, I can't see myself as that. But then obviously, like, the majority of people, like, look at Goku right there. A lot of men, whether you're black, Mexican, Asian, white, they fucking love Goku. They can aspire to want to be like him. Obviously, no one can, but something like that is what people would rather have, right? And the same thing with Black Myth Wukong, right? Just a badass monkey fighter, monkey god, and with all these, badass martial arts, acrobatics, and mystical powers. It's kind of hard not to see why, boys would gravitate towards that kind of character. I guess it's just boys being boys, enjoying what has always entertained them, right? And then again, you've got Sweet Baby Inc. right here. It says, why it matters, Sweet Baby Inc. has become a huge presence in gaming industries. They influence the development of many current and upcoming games. However, the Black Myth Wukong developers disagreed to work with the company. Why it matters: Game Science, the studio behind Black Myth Wukong, is being called out for lacking diversity in its title and not depicting political correctness. This is reportedly due to the studio not consulting Sweet Baby Inc. during development. According to the Chinese media press release, Game Science refused to take the company's guidance as they demanded an unbelievable high $7 million. Agreeing to the offer would have added forced inclusivity to the game and removed creative freedom from the developers. It also is interesting to note that Sweet Baby Inc. has more of an influence in the West rather than in the Asian regions. Typically aren't influenced by them. Obviously, one of the exceptions was Silent Hill 2 remake, and we saw how they chubbified the female character in that one and made her look more ugly than she was in the original. Things like that. It's also interesting, Nonetheless, this won't impact Black Myth Wukong in any meaningful way. One might even expect the game to be better because of Game Science's refusal. While diversity and representation in games are not wrong, forced inclusivity seems like an unwise move. It makes even less sense for a game like Black Myth Wukong, which is based on existing source material, again, based off of Chinese lore, fucking mythos and things like that. I would believe they have a lot of Asian representation in that. So it's like, but as we've learned in recent times, Asian people are just white adjacent in these people's eyes, right? They're on the same level as white people, which baffles my mind, obviously, because yeah, in one country, yes, they're majority, but then in another, they are a minority. So it's just like, you guys are really just moving the goalpost and fixing it in any which way that serves your purpose. What else we got here? Yeah. Being accused of racism, sexism, homophobia after the Chinese game developers. What's it? I don't think it was here. But we definitely see, oh yeah, right here, the context for that has been added to a little community note. The sexist quotes shown in the article are poorly translated. Accurate translations show the statements being vulgar, but definitely not sexist. IGN reporting on these fallacies, unverified claims as though their fact is yellow journalism, which CN's were made to combat. So let's see what other stuff had to be said. Again, the game looks very nice, and it's I don't know if you can say open world, but it's going to be a huge expanse, right? The gameplay looks fun. I guess you could say it's kind of Souls-like. I don't really think that is accurate enough. I mean, yes, there's little boss meter and things like that, but all the characters in this and the fights and other things like that, it's been worked on for a long time. This would be basically like, I guess we say Dragon's Dogma, maybe? Accurate? I don't know. All I know is it's an RPG, right? And we get to see what these fucking weirdos were saying. Where are they at? Gotta find that video. Right. Yeah, like look at all the nice Asian representation we've gotten lately. That doesn't have any of that DEI bullshit. Oh, but this is the clip right here.
If you're a creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years, put this stuff up to your higher-ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want. If you're a creative working in AAA.
Which seemingly is what's happening now, where they refused the $7 million that they would have to pay for this consulting firm, agency, whatever, and now they're being targeted for sexist remarks and harassment. Basically, it's just like, you can't make this up. They really are falling on what they said in this goddamn video. And again, nobody else's fault. And now because of that, it's ranked #1 on the wish list and other games right now for Steam, topping the charts. And when it comes out, you best believe it's gonna make a pretty penny, all with just being itself, being genuine and original. Look, and then here's another example of how you got a developer that's just trying to make their character appealing and of that same race and other things like that. And then you have the one on the right, what the fuck was it called again? Descendant? I remember this fucking game where the bitch just can't shut up. She's very annoying to her AI or magical friend or whatever that talks to her in that suit armor, whatever it was. Yeah, like the contrast is just vastly different. And what else we got here? Yeah, this is a picture I was trying to show you. Now we can feel represented. Yasuke. And then Black Myth Wukong, literally everybody. Yeah, that's literally me. Picks up a stick. You know what I mean? Like that. I don't see why it's so difficult for these companies to realize that we don't want anything forced down our fucking throat. Maybe you do. Maybe that's been working for you the past few years. But with the amount of people that are waking up, seeing all this bullshit, they're speaking up finally. They're actually, we've been told you guys don't have a lot of power, and then sometimes you do have a lot of power. Well, guess what? People are putting their money where their mouth is and supporting actual good games that have good story, have good gameplay. Yes, the graphics are nice. Obviously, that's not always a thing for some of these games. Some games like Battle Block? No, not Battle Block. The fucking game that came out, I think, last year. That was like a battle royale kind of Call of Duty, but like really shitty graphics, right? That was just made by I think 2-3 people, and it made a fuck ton of money. So graphics are not always the key thing in these games, and obviously when you just make a game enjoyable and put storytelling and the player in mind instead of, oh, how can I feel represented in this game or whatever we're making, right? Then you start to lose sight of it. And then with like Yasuke or Assassin's Creed, you have the outrageous business practice of charging upwards of $170 or $179 for DLC and other content that should be in the game, the base game. But again, that's developers taking out stuff and being like, oh, we can charge them for this DLC and this stuff, whatever. We can, or 3-day early access. Whoa, 3 days early access. That's really being charitable, huh? Like, yeah, these people just don't know how to cater to the actual audience. Instead, they're catering to the investors, the other people that they need to show numbers. And guess what? If you just made a good game, you would get all that attention, all that money. But since you're focused on the wrong things, yeah, people are gonna lash out like such. Not that big of a surprise, but I guess for some of these companies like Sweet Baby Inc. and all that, yeah, it is a sucker punch to the face. They're not realizing that, hey, we don't actually have this much power, especially when the gamers rise up and spend their money on things that they actually enjoy and love. And with that being said, what do you think about this whole situation? Do you think it's overblown? Are you happy that Game Science actually, denied Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement in consulting? You want more consulting agencies, firms, whatever, to have power? Just give me your opinions down below. We'll see. We'll have a chat. Other than that, Ace Shinigami signing out. Y'all have a good morning and good evening. Here's to another one where a game succeeds because some of these other freaks don't like it. But yeah, Ace Shinigami signing out. Y'all have a good evening, good morning, and good night. And we will see y'all next time. Bye.